So I received a comment yesterday telling me, hey, are you gonna look into this orange Piccolo bug? And I was really confused, so I asked some people around and looked into it. Apparently, after you use Orange Piccolo's giant transformation, which is obviously via the active skill, and what happens is the enemy can't super attack you based on what people are saying. Now, there's not too many like pieces of evidence or clips I see floating around that I could pull up. So what we're gonna do in this video is we're gonna test it out specifically, and we're gonna see, okay, does it actually work or not? And if it does work, then that's pretty huge. Now, regardless, I think they would find this out and have it fixed. But we'll see if, this is true or not. And I'm very interested because it could really help a lot of people out with beating some of these difficult events, knowing the turn after they still cannot super attack you. So let's hop right in. I think I'll go into like some of these bosses that could do multiple supers, like the Broly fight in the red zone, and maybe even Cellmax's red zone fight, right? We'll check it out. Alright, I decided we're going to start from the AoE phase. We're not going to use the active skill in the AoE phase, but I just want to show again, I will be popping the scouter here in this phase specifically. Bam, so now the scouter is going to be activated from the upcoming turn. Again, I'll skip ahead. I should survive this turn, I would assume. And we're going to see how, again, if it'll work where Broly won't super attack in the actual AGL phase, right? So again, we'll just skip forward and we'll see if it works there. Okay, we're here. So again, we see the scouter is working and there's a double super attack on this turn specifically. The scouter again does last for 3 turns. So it'll still technically be turn 7 by the time the scouter ends. But just in case, I'm going to pop this a second time. We're going to go ahead and use the active skill. Might as well play the active skill. Pretty good animation, I think, overall. And we'll see if this actually does end up working. Alright, so here's the turn. Again, just basically Orange Piccolo's out here. We know where the super attacks are going to be, and we're going to be able to basically not have to worry about him on this turn specifically. So let's just kind of have this giant form end. Again, it'll be really, really interesting if the super attack does end up being, I'd say, nullified is a good way, maybe just bugged out. I don't know how you guys would describe it. But if it works, then, again, since we have the scouter up, for sure, 100% we have the scouter up, then we're going to be able to see if it actually works. And I think it'll be really good, because in this situation, you'll get an extra free turn of no super attacks. You know how, like, busted that is? Like, if you really just sit back and think about it, the fact that you could have 2 turns in his Orange Piccolo form, where you don't have to worry about damage, maybe even 3 turns. And then an additional turn after that. That'd be really insane. But I guess we'll just skip, or I'll let this play. Actually, I'll just fast forward, I guess, and we'll have this go through, just so you guys see the entire thing. Just so, I guess, skipping through it may be a little weirder, but yeah, I think you guys get the point. That finally ended. Goodness, man. Okay. There's no super attacks on this turn specifically here again. We have the scouter up, so we'll let this turn play out. And then the following turn we'll also see, actually I probably should have put God Goku at the end, but it's fine. The following turn, I'll do the same thing, because again, Broly is a boss that could double super attack. And we'll conclude the test for the Broly fight here. What I think I'll do after is I'm actually going to hop into the Omega Shenron fight. And we're going to try and see if we can get basically like the same situation, but we know where Omega Shenron's super attack is going to be. Or I might do the androids fight. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I think I'm going to go into the androids fight in the Android Ultimate Red Zone against the 17, 18, and 16. Apparently that 16 is like always going to super attack his first attack, and there's 3 enemies there. So I think it'll be much easier to tell whether or not he's going to be super attacking. And I believe, again, Orange Piccolo's active skill Let me actually double check that. I believe it can be used against multiple enemies, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, okay. It just, oh, all this have to be on the superhero category. So that can be used against multiple enemies. Really, really good to see. All right. We're gonna see again this other rotation here. Let me just skip the active skill this time. Yeah, again, we see there's 2 super attacks now right in the front. We'll skip this one, and this time I'm actually just gonna just play through it again, I guess. Okay, we're back here. And again, multiple turns where he's not super attacking. Actually, it's probably a mistake to put them in the middle. Doesn't really matter. But still, yeah, this might actually be real because the fact that he hasn't supered on both of those turns, again, Broly is a boss that can super twice within the same turn. That's pretty insane. So, I don't know, maybe, again, I want to hop into the Android states, but I might also hop into the Omega Shenron fight because we exactly know his super attack. I believe that physical 16 does super before like the very first attack, but we'll have to wait and see. So let's hop into the next Red Zone stage. Okay, so we're here in the androids fights. So again, I believe that against the androids fight, the 16 does super attack very consistently in the first slot. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the orange Piccolo active skill here. And we're just going to skip ahead. We'll just attack 17 just so we don't really do too much damage to these guys. And we'll see if 16 super attacks or any of the characters do super attack. I forgot to pop the actual scouter. But that, I feel like that doesn't really matter because they're either going to super attack or not super attack, I guess is a good way to put it, right? And we'll test it and see if these guys actually will super attack us. So the giant transformation just ended. And we're going to see if this actually does work. So I guess I'll put Vegeta and Trunks in the front slot here. And again, we'll attack type disadvantage. I think this time I'll use the Scouter. Just because, again, we're going to try on both rotations. The one against... I guess I'll attack 18. We're going to try, again, we're going to try not to kill, but we're going to try... I can't even speak. I keep saying the same thing twice. Okay, 16 did not super attack here. Very interesting, right? And again, we'll see if any of these characters do super. There's 3 enemies, so it's likely they super attack. Keep that in mind. And then we'll do one more try against this same fight, but next rotation with this second orange Piccolo. This time we'll have the Scouter up that'll tell us whether or not they're super attacking, but... I mean, yeah, against Broly, 2 rotations he did not super attack. And it seems like so far in this rotation, 16 did not super, which I feel is very rare. I feel like 16 always like super attacks, right? Interesting for sure. And then I think we'll kind of end it from there. If he doesn't super attack, I feel like it's safe to conclude Orange Piccolo does actually not let these enemies super the turn after his transformation ends, even still, which is quite a powerful tool. Now, I guess I do want to know, I tried this against Omega, and it's very weird because Omega in his like Omega's countdowns don't actually register when you're in the giant form. So it's kind of difficult to try and set it up the certain way you want to, because, you know, sometimes the transformation leads to turn 3 and stuff like that. So I didn't test out Omega or countdown super attacks. That was off camera, unfortunately, but it was kind of weird like that. But I think this fight is a good way to see whether or not that's actually going to happen. So, again, I guess at the bare minimum, whenever Gamma 2 wants to finish supering, I guess, I'll show that the Scouter will be active the next turn. And we'll see one more time. I think that this is pretty cool, though, that if this does work as intended, which is seemingly like... I guess technically it's not working as intended. I'm sure they don't intend the boss and not the super... I mean, yeah, there's 16 super attack again, so let's skip ahead and see what happens. Okay, so none of them super attack that last turn. Scouter's up. No super attack still. Yeah, I actually think it might be legit for all. It's just Broly, who could super twice, did not super on either of those turns. Then we have 3 androids who all of them can super attack, decided not to super 2 turns in a row. All 3 of them. There's no way. That's not possible. That doesn't happen. I think to finalize the test, I'll hop into the Cell Max event. The actual, like, event, not the red zone. Because he has a 25% chance to do a super attack. And, I mean, if that doesn't work, then I feel like we kind of have a case where there is a true bug. So I feel pretty convinced, but just as a last final test, we'll check it out there, because maybe I just got extremely lucky, but I really do doubt it. Actually, what I'll do is we'll see this next rotation, and then we're gonna see the super attacks with the scouter. I guarantee you, there's gonna be like 3 super attacks in the scouter there. Okay, there's UI Goku dodging. This hurry up and finish up with the dodging buddy. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so go, by the way. Super attacks here. Yep, look at that. Come on. There's no way. There's no way. Okay, so Orange Piccolo just got like supered by Cell Max, but it was like his second attack in the turn. I could reset the app if I wanted to show, but I guess you guys could take my word for it. Either way, we see he's not going to super red at the end here. So let's see again if this works against Cell Max. Again, Cell Max has a, what, 20... I forgot the exact number. So Max has a 25% chance, yes, to do a super attack. We'll just do this here. I think Orange Piccolo in the first slot would probably be our best chance to survive right there. That's fine. And then we'll get the Gamma one. Okay. So Max, you get double super and you have a 25% chance. I mean, obviously there's turns where he's not going to super attack, but again, that's the beauty of us testing it twice. We're going to see if it works 2 times. And I think if it doesn't super this turn or next turn, I will be 100% convinced that this is a bug that works in game. Which I feel like I'm already pretty much convinced, right? But hey, might as well just get as many tests as possible to make sure, because you can never be sure. RNG is weird. Maybe I just am the luckiest person ever, and every single time on these rotations, they just didn't want a super, right? And it was just part of the game. You never know. But technically you can't prove it, but I feel like you could... semi-prove it, I guess is a weird way to say it, where it's like you can show it's repetitive enough where it's like, okay, it has to be this way, but you can't 100% ever be like, yeah, I mean, no super attacks here. So again, Mosey active skill again. I'll skip through this. No one cares about seeing the giant form attack really that much. We'll see if the super attack actually goes through here, because there's no way he doesn't super 2 turns in a row. That's just not gonna happen, right? I decided I'm just gonna show the final phase of the transformation, just so that we could see if he's actually going to super this turn, because if Cell Max doesn't want to super on this giant form turn, then we could definitely tell if he's going to super or not the following turn, right? Unless we kill. I guess there's a possibility where we can kill. But there's a super attack right there again. He's pretty much supered every single turn except for the one that was quote-unquote nullified, right? So there's going to be, what, 5 or 6 attacks after this. He could definitely super slot 1 next turn if he really wants to, right? It's good to show, I guess, the attack patterns that happened this turn, and that he did, in fact, he does super attack. It's like not bugged the fight itself or anything. Okay, don't give me 3 turns, please. Of course, you're gonna give me 2 turns. I think he might be dead here, honestly. If I get the additional super attacks and everything, he really might die. If he does, then it is what it is, but I think I'm personally convinced that Cell Max just is not gonna be super attacking, or any boss in that matter, after you do it. I think that from what I heard, it has to be the same phase though, right? A friend of mine actually said that this is true as well. And when I talked with them about it, like I said earlier, I think I said that earlier, but I did contact some people about this, and they were like, yeah, we think it looks legit, but I didn't know for sure, and I wanted to get it on video, but they said you can't like go into the Cell Max red zone and do this. Okay, well, we did kill. It is what it is. Its Orange Piccolo form is too strong here. He is, of course, an effective character, but again, let me know what you guys think. I think that this is legit, where you transform and then de-transform the Orange Piccolo form, and you cannot get super attacked that following turn, which is pretty nasty. So, thank you all for watching until the end. Let me know what you think again. I just want to end off with the screen of the Orange Piccolo actual art here. Let me just do that real quick. Okay, here it is. So I'll catch y'all in the next video. 8th anniversary speculation mostly, but was interesting to point this out.